guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you can see in the title, I'll be talking about why I'm learning several languages at a time and my language learning journey. So my language learning journey, well, I would say like officially started last year, but in 2013 I decided to pick up Japanese for the first time. So the story with Japanese is I was a little 6-year-old going to the library every day after school when one day my librarian introduced me to this anime, and the anime was, it's something no go. I keep forgetting the first part of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. And I watched every single episode of this anime, read every single volume of the manga series, and I could not stop since then. So in 2013, that was right around when Food Wars came out, or was it later? I don't remember, but I remember I was watching an anime and I was like, I should learn Japanese because I want to watch things without having to wait for subs on Kiss Anime. Rest in peace. And I got my first phone that year, so I was able to download apps like Busuu, Duolingo, even though I did not use Duolingo. With Busuu, I tried to learn the kana for Japanese, but since it was way too hard and I had no motivation to learn it, I thought I was ready. I was not ready. So I decided to look on Google which language had an easier alphabet than Japanese, and then Korean came up. I don't remember what article this was. This was 7 years ago. What year is this? I don't even know what year this is. But back in 2013, I learned about Korean, and then I remembered that Gangnam Style was in Korean, but I had learned the romanization words for it and never like the official words for it. So I was like, oh my god, I like this song. It's in Korean, and Korean has an easier alphabet, so let me try learning the alphabet. I learned Hangul in like an hour, and I led myself to believe that this language would be easy, so I decided to learn Korean. It has not been easy, but the thing is, I never took Korean seriously because I was always more focused on school. So Korean was kind of just like a side hobby for me, and I would do it like once a month, once every few months. I would just do it like for 2 hours one day and then forget about it for like a month, and then do it another 2 hours the next day, thinking that that would improve my language skills. Did not, obviously. And so now in the year 2022, I have been now studying Korean consecutively for 100 and something days, maybe 102 days now. But yeah, I started out with the 100-day challenge in July and then started studying every day since then. And with Japanese as well, this week I finally learned kana to the fullest, and I'm very proud of myself because I've been wanting to learn Japanese for the longest time. I don't know where my motivation was back then, but at least it's here now, and everything works out in time, right? But anyways, that's how I literally started to learn Japanese. Korean was so random. It was because of Google, so I guess I have Google to thank for that. But anyways, that's my journey with Korean and Japanese. It's been a hard, long journey, but it's finally coming together, and I'm very, very excited to see where I'll be at the end of the year. And then next for French. So French makes up 90% of Haitian Creole. So me thinking that I know 90% of French, that's not how it works. But I thought that French and Haitian Creole were basically the same language. So I went into French thinking that it would be easy. I passed my class back in middle school. I would get like pretty much A's for like the first few years of learning French, but then it got harder. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not what I thought it would be. And now I can listen to French, understand it. I can read a bit of French, not out loud, because reading out loud is a mess for me in any language, even English. But I cannot speak it. My French is very broken when I speak it. So I decided that I'm gonna take it more seriously. I have been studying every day for like a month and a half now. I started back into the end of November. It's been hard. Conjugations and like verbs and stuff like that will always get me, but we're learning, and I finally know the difference between je suis chaud and j'ai chaud. So we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. I should be fluent by now if I'm taking it for 5 years in school, but I'm not. It is what it is. At least I get to do it on my own now. So with Spanish, I started learning Spanish back in elementary school when I lived in South Florida. I was always surrounded by Spanish speaking people. I always watched my mom watch telenovelas, and then I started to watch telenovelas myself. Since then, I've been loving the Spanish language, Spanish culture. Like we share a lot of like the same aspects and stuff, and I see a lot of like their culture and our culture being very similar. So, you know, I've always been intrigued, and I decided to finally learn Spanish. So I'm able to understand a lot of Spanish, but I cannot speak it to you, and I want to be able to speak it. That's my goal with these languages, to be able to be conversationally fluent in these languages. So I decided to take it seriously right around the same time I took French seriously, and now I have been learning it for a couple months now. And then the next language on our list is Vietnamese. Vietnamese is the most random language I've ever chosen to learn. I have no idea about the culture. I had no idea what the language sounded like before then. I just decided to learn it. I was sitting right at this desk. It was like the middle of the night, like 1 a.m. or something. I was looking through Lingodeer and their language selections, and I decided that I'm gonna learn Vietnamese. And since then, I've just been learning Vietnamese. I got an elementary Vietnamese textbook for it, and yeah, just basically doing that. And then the last language on our list for now anyways, because I'm definitely going to be learning more languages. So Thai is a language that I also randomly decided to learn. So when everybody was obsessed with that show, The Girl from Nowhere, my mom and sisters were watching it in our living room, and as I was passing by to get a cold glass of water, I saw the text messages on the screen in one of the scenes, and I was like, that's really pretty letters. And then the way they were speaking was really pretty. I thought it was really pretty. So I decided that I'm gonna learn it. It's gonna be my more chill language, as I stated in my language goals for 2022 video. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and do so. But I'm really excited to be learning these languages, and my goal, my official goal for all these languages is to be able to speak them by the time I go to medical school. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be this year. If you have any language learning stories you want to tell me down below, go ahead and do so. Or if you would like to start a language, tell me which ones and why. But anyways, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you want to see more content from me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.